Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the Vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the Vault, episode 400, August 6th, seminar in Orlando, Florida, 2020. Definitely excited about doing this episode. This is definitely going to be a good episode. We got Brother Cornell, the trader, live with us. Definitely going to be going over some of the topics and some of the things we're going to be going over and what we got going on the actual 6th of August. Definitely looking forward to this one. Definitely people are looking forward to this one. We know quite a few. This has been something that's been long awaited. So there you have it. You have the workshop flyer, trader, and you have Victor M, an individual that deals with high net worth investors. But we're gonna say that this individual is definitely someone that deals with international entities, business, and things of that nature. So definitely excited about this workshop. Look forward to having everybody at this workshop. This is definitely going to be a great workshop. Uh, so, Cornell, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Alrighty, good, 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 cool.
Just
So, you know,
chopping up.
yeah, it might chop up a little bit, but we're definitely, definitely excited about talking about this new workshop that we got coming up here on August the 6th, and what you would be partaking in, and things of that nature. We haven't really shared much about it, but we definitely are excited about the workshop and what we're going to be doing at this workshop. It's pretty standard. We used to have the workshops a lot of times for the trustees only, but opening it up now for families, couples, and individuals. People wanting to do something for their family. We know that we have a very niche foundations, whether it's charity, whether it's when we talk about trading, when we talk about different trading strategies, and then wealth building strategies. When we talk about wealth building strategies, whether it's with private family banking, um, things of that nature. It's interesting because sometimes, Cornell, people think that all of them don't work together. But that's maybe built systems, how you develop systems, what made you want to focus on the system as opposed to being a sole entrepreneur. Could you talk about that? Because all of it works together as a system. So could you talk about systems and how you've effectively put these things together in your particular fields of endeavor and in your investment strategy and your wealth strategy, managing and growing wealth?
It's like a business plan. Like how you gonna be successful is being wrote it out and plan. You step by step plan. So a lot of people like quick money. Quick money go away when you don't got a business plan. Like fast. But sometimes it ain't no sometimes. All the time it's good to have a system set in place. I'd rather have long term money than short term quick money that go away. I'd rather have that long term money that stay there for a long time. So that means I'm gonna have to set up a system. I'm gonna have to have patience. I'm gonna have to give it time. And once it developed the way I need it to develop, it's way better than me ever taking that short term investment. And I do that on every single thing that I do. I'm gonna build a system. Once the system is in play, it runs itself. But my money going for a long time into that business.
Okay, so could you talk about how when you make an investment in the things you kind of have the I'm gonna leave it behind or it's gone, that's out of my pocket, like how you walk away from the money mentally? Could you talk about that? Because a lot of people, when it comes to like investing and things of that nature, they hold on to the money as if it's still in their hands, but they've already invested it.
I always talk. It's just people scared to invest in themselves. First off, so my philosophy, like anybody know, I'm not gonna go use money that I know that I'm actually gonna need to take care of. I guess the personal things that the necessary things.
Right.
Most people go use money that they know they should be using. Now you worried, Christian, about the investment. Me personally, I'm not a lazy dude. I'm gonna go figure out a way to go get the money somewhere else for the investment without having to use the personal money. And guess what? When I put that money in, whether I lose or win, I'm good. I'm not worried about it. I ain't stressing out by, oh, I took my rent money or my car note money and did something with it. I don't invest like that. Most people do that. You hear something good, you run to it. You know what, Christian? I'm gonna go over here and get this money real quick that I know I shouldn't be touching and try to make a quick flip. That's why it's important to build systems. So like being around us, you'll see at this conference, you're gonna it's a whole different language we talking in this room. I can promise you. This 1% type of stuff we're gonna be talking about in this room. That your attorney and accountant will sit in that room with us and pay for. We build real systems. We put money in investments. We sit back. We wait for it to mature. Whether it take a year, 2 years, 3 years. I've had some mature 2 years, year, couple months. Don't matter. We're gonna take money that we don't need, but we smart enough to build systems so we know how to go access money to do our investments with. But we ain't gonna necessarily touch any money that's gonna have us in panic mode. That's what most people do, and that's why they lose. So now you win on a Doge coin or a little quick investment, and you think it's supposed to work like this. Now it still works off the old system. Old system, so you gotta build a system. That's what we do. Make sure we protect it, make sure we're moving right. We ain't scared. We ain't got no emotions attached to the bid.
Right.
If I put 10,000 in there and it's for that business and I think it's gonna work, I ain't sitting there boo-hoo crying or worried about, oh, Christian, I put the money in there and I shouldn't have put the money in there. That's what most people do, and that's why they'll never get ahead.
Okay. No, as you were speaking, I was thinking about one of the questions that a lot of people don't follow through on, or a statement or something that they should do, which is not getting stuck on one investment and waiting for that investment to hit. So if it ends up taking longer, or the investment, if there's any ups and downs in the market, because nothing goes straight up, nothing goes straight down. When things have choppy situations, or things don't go as you plan
And
right
that's what I'm
away.
gonna touch on more
Yeah.
at the conference. Like
Okay.
I'm going to detail. It's basically like it's a private room. So I'm gonna talk to you how the mentors talk to me. We come in the room, we ain't playing around. Look, you playing around. While we sitting there waiting on one investment. If you follow what we doing and you're in our environment, you know we not waiting on one investment. We on 5, 6 investments.
Right.
2, 3 different ways to fund things. You know what? We don't got a way. We're gonna figure out a way to go fund it. Or we're gonna go make the money and do it with it. Like we just gotta get around the right people. That's why we decided to finally do the conference.
Right.
You know what people be asking for? We hear y'all. Let's put the in person with the in person, but you're gonna see that in that room. We lay back in that room. We're gonna have the same general conversation. But hey, BS is BS. I tell you that. You ain't moving right. That, that's how we move. We build systems. You gotta take the criticism. You gotta take the good points. You gotta take all of it. That's part of business.
Right.
Our mentors get in us.
Yeah, you never
I
end
get
up
people
like,
when I'm teaching them
how
trading.
how can you be
They're
successful
not
with
gonna just
something
be
and you
playing
don't,
around.
how can you be successful at something in somebody that you don't have someone around you that can give you some good hard feedback? Does that make sense? Like, I don't even understand how you say you successful at something. You don't even have a peer or somebody around you that can give you hard feedback. Like, that makes no sense.
You breaking up, but you breaking up.
I said I
Like
don't know.
dragging or something.
I don't know how you can be great at something if you don't have for hard feedback. Hard feedback. You gotta have feedback in order to be great at something. See, it's like Michael Jordan had a shooting coach, and sometimes your coach might not even do what you do. That's not in all cases. That's in some cases though. But you need to have somebody that can look over your shoulder. It's funny because Cornell will reach out to us sometime and he'll tell us and he'll say, "Oh, this person they really need to train it. This person they really need to train it." And what's interesting is even Cornell today, when we were talking, he was talking to someone, and you know They were like, "Oh, I really want to get into real estate." And he's like, "Well, the market is where it is right now, so if you're prepared, if you have capital, if you have your preparedness, if you have some things in place, some things part of a system in place, like we do, you have a system in place, you can be prepared for the moment when foreclosures get a little out of hand, and you can be there to help people with seller's notes or help them do refis with mortgages on a note. And this is where having a great education comes in handy. This is where having a private education and coming to the conference and dealing with someone like a Victor or like a
Yeah,
Cornell, this is where you can learn how to do those
it comes
moves.
in very handy. You'll see if you're in the Yeah, you'll see it when you're in that room. We're doing a lot of different things. A lot of gonna leave you with the right people.
Right.
So basically, real estate, when you run the right people, we just not talk. We run the top people, whether it's hedge fund managers, bankers, like I said, trust consultants, the top insurance guys, which y'all gonna see one of the top insurance guys in the room with us.
It's crazy because think about it.
A couple of M's on the low.
Yeah,
Like they're the type of people we put in our environment so
but
we can move because we understand real estate, what's going on with real estate. Most people don't understand what's going on with real estate. Y'all just see, oh, people buying houses, having a good old time, but now realize I talked to a lot of bankers. A lot of y'all ain't paid. I ain't gonna say yeah, but a lot of people ain't paid their mortgages in the last 2, 3 years since COVID started with their forbearance stuff. Now they finna start dealing with the recession. We got
right,
money on deck to invest. They ain't gotta go to the bank, Chrissy. That's the stuff we talk about when we in that room. We prepared for that. We got a system we gonna put in place. We're gonna prepare ourselves ahead of time and not go along with everybody else on a fad type thing.
right,
Dogecoin was a fad. Actually talked to my partner. Matter of fact, you know him, the one I used to work with. He said he put 1,300 in Dogecoin and made 100,000. Don't know why he did it, but he did it. Now he was smarter than most people. Christian, he actually cashed his money out,
right,
70,000 of it. He left 30 in. It's down to 10. But I said, you in that small percentile, you didn't know what you did. But most people, they was riding to the moon. They lost 85 to 90% of that value. Following the trend, following a fad. He didn't really follow the fad, but think about how many people left that up in there. And the only people that actually made money was Elon and the one that told you about it, because they took theirs out while you let yours in, thinking it's going to go to 100,000 or something. Like
right.
that's all about getting in the right environment and knowing better than that. Knowing, okay, we're gonna take key investments and do what we're supposed to do.
It's interesting to see, how people just don't think about that. It's interesting to see that. Definitely when it comes to just making investments properly. We definitely don't give legal advice or financial advice over at the vault. But one thing we can say is, just having a conversation about these things, even in public media, having a conversation, whether it's about Dogecoin or whatever coin we're talking about, whatever, asset we're talking about. At the end of the day, you got to be educated on this type of stuff, and like you say, if somebody's just out here making investments or whatever they want to call it, putting money in things and they don't know how the money's being made, that's a tchotchke. That's a gamble. And that's the issue that I think that a lot of people of the younger generation, Cornell. I mean, maybe older people for sure, but younger people for sure, they they're not trying to they're not happy with the financial education that they have, and so they know they need better education and they're seeking out that education. The only difference is I think they have to implement the education. Sure, a lot of people say they want the education. Oh, a lot of people reach out to the vault, say, oh, I want to be private. This is the workshop to do that. And then there's other subsects in that we're feeling. I mean, we're only missing maybe one more person on the roster. Sure, we could give a lot more people on the roster, but even what we have on the roster right now, for this workshop, it's already a great environment to be in. We have quite a few entrepreneurs, quite a few investors that are in the environment, and
Oh
so
yeah. And we
that
always evolve. So y'all done heard us a few times, but it's a lot that didn't change. Like even when I'm gonna touch on the training a little bit more, 'cause like it's game changing stuff going on now. Guess what? People couldn't imagine trading with six-figure accounts. Now there's ways to do that.
right,
Like it's a lot evolved. Guess what? We took hedge fund classes and learned how. Hey, this economy really moving. Like it's a lot to talk about,
it is a lot
and
to
it's
talk about.
private. It's private for a reason. Like we can't just. Yeah, we on here now, but we both know it's certain things we can't talk to you on here. Get what the government gonna be looking like? Oh, giving out too much information right there. There's certain things we just can't. But in the room, yeah, we can talk about it. So like I said, we're in a private environment, operate like how we're supposed to do, because that's how we operate. We on that side of even the way we like that system we use. We on that side.
Right.
So yeah, we had to do the in person event. Probably do a few on. Got to. Like we just can't sit on it. It's certain things I just can't tell you right
Right.
now. I ain't gonna even play with them like.
So if
No,
trading is something you really have to want to do in order to create generational wealth, what does that mean?
I didn't hear you break it up toward the end.
I said trading is something you have to really want to do in order to create generational wealth. What does that mean?
It means you're gonna get up every day. You're gonna look at it. It's repetition, and basically, Cornell is not gonna call you every day because my mentor told me to say it's something that you got to want to do yourself. Meaning, once you got the material, Chris, you're gonna sit down. Don't it don't mean we ain't gonna have discussions or you got questions, but just to give you a little piece of advice, mentors waiting on them questions. It let them know you want it that bad.
Right.
Not the mentor calling a Christian and say, "Hey, Chris, what you doing today? Did you actually check on that?" No, ain't none of that going on. Chris is supposed to be already done it. We can't call our mentor and say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do it tomorrow," when we're supposed to be already done it today. Can't do that.
Yeah, that's how it is. And what's okay? So okay, now we know that you do have a mentorship program. We have Trustee Training at the Vault. You have a mentorship program. Um, at this point, I mean, it's so much to even talk about with your mentorship program, what you've seen come through the mentorship program,
Man.
that you've been able to connect with people, and help and enable people or empower people with not just information, but actually them, generating capital. Um, it's so many things to talk about, man. It
Yeah,
really is.
it get deeper than the trade. So in the room, you don't see like Cornell mind is always thinking. Like I said, we doing six, seven, eight different things at a time, but they manage themselves when the system's in place. Like you're gonna learn more to it than just trade. Just imagine knowing how to trade and still got six, seven things going on.
Do you think that's hard to grasp for most
For the
people?
ones that ain't willing, for the ones that ain't willing to put the work in, yeah.
Right. So the ones that aren't trying to put the work in. Right. So, but at the end of the day, it is pretty much. Let's just give people an idea of these three things that we're talking about today. We got trusteeship. We're talking about the trading. We're talking about, the financial advisement with Victor. When you talk about the amount of time that you put in until you got it, what was your mindset like if you before you became a pro, as you were going pro, what was your mindset like? Talk to us about your mindset
My
so we can know
mindset
who
was
you were
real
before
life.
we get to the workshop.
Mine was real life. Most people say you say you want to do this for your family, but do you really want to do it for your family? So when I'm sitting there, I ain't thinking about being greedy and what car and all that I could buy. I'm trying to see how I can stop all this working long hours on this job and take care of my family. So guess what? When he showed it to me and I seen it work, I sat my butt down every single day, from 3 to 6 hours a day, probably, until I got it and it clicked because it was just as important. The statement made to me is like, look, man, you learn this, you never have to worry about money again in your life. And then they sat down and showed it to me. I don't need to ask no more questions. Give me the information. I'm gonna call you back when I got a real question. But right now, give me the information. And
Right.
I'm gonna read. This is another thing you learn about us in the I'm gonna read the information before I reach back out to the mentor, because guess what? I'm not gonna get chewed out. Same way I might chew people out. My mentor gonna chew me out if, okay, Christian, y'all I gave y'all the book. Did y'all read the book?
Right. Did you take
Why
any
you calling me back
notes?
with questions? Like people skip.
Right.
That's part of building the system.
Right.
Dude, you got to listen to somebody else sometime. Also, you got to.
That's where
Most
you want
people
to be
didn't do
in
that.
life. That's where you
Yeah.
want to be in life. And that's why I say, walk us through the mindset, we can always get to the glory of, okay, Cornell sits at home with his children. He's able to, have that time with his children, raising his children. That's definitely, something we can see that on his page and
That's
stuff like
why I
that.
did it though.
Right.
That ain't that's what I did. That's how I got it done. Like if I say I'm gonna do something for my family, I'm gonna do it for real. I actually did trading. It wasn't about the money. It was really about the freedom and freeing up my time. At that time, I rather put in the work while my kid younger, so I can free up my time later on when they get into doing things. Just like now, got a one about to be 17 next week. Guess what? They're into a lot of sports activities. I got another 9. They older. I can enjoy it. I can literally set my own schedule because I know how to trade. That was my motivation. I actually accomplished what I set out to do was free up my time. Of course, the money come with it. But you didn't even learn when I teach trade, we ain't even really talking about the money because we got to learn the system.
Right.
The money come. We don't chase money. That's what we teaching people. We ain't chasing no money. I don't need the fad to make money. I need the real investments to make money for a long time. I'm gonna say that again. For a long time, not for a quick hit, and then you don't know what to do with the money, then you're gonna spend it and blow a lot of it, and then you back to square zero, but you didn't learn anything when you went back to square zero. You skipped the process. You didn't want to build a system.
Do you think it's just a lot of people that are willing to tough it out, and a lot of people are just willing to tough it out and take the long route? I think so many people are
Some people get in their own way and feel like it's too much to ask somebody. Like, I don't want to ask Christian a question. Man, the mentor sit there and wait on the question and let them know that you read the information.
He said, "Let them know you
And let
read."
them know you
Right, it
heard what
does
they
let them know
said.
you read the information.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man, to see that. Like people really don't even know. The people know you read the information based off the questions you asked. To be honest, that's how they know. They know based off the questions you ask, whether y'all know that or not. So we're gonna definitely see about this workshop. Because we really want you all to get some questions in at the workshop. We know we're gonna have quite a few people at this workshop, so we definitely want quite a few people to get their questions in. Um, because it's just going to be a big one where people want to have questions, and we're making sure we got enough time to actually get all their questions. So we are doing a VIP dinner. We'll announce where the private dinner will be held, but it is a private dinner. So if you're looking for one person, that's what the price is on the screen, and then when we talk about the group, the couple, if you're gonna do VIP, it'd be double, and we'll go forward from there. The VIP dinner is not negotiable. Nothing's negotiable. Everything's pretty much final sale. So that's how we're pretty much looking at it. Look forward to seeing people there. It's going to be in Orlando. We've had it at this location. You can fly in and out. There will be no day of sales. Everything is always pre-order, RSVP only. No day of stuff, and things of that nature. So we're really looking forward to seeing people at the workshop. This is definitely going to be a great one. Just the location is going to be fairly easy for people to get to, and really looking forward to connecting with so many people that we haven't seen in a few years. Because of the whole situation over the past couple years, and now people get to get out, and people want to be at the next situation. We do have a heck of a lineup here with the whether it's Cornell, whether it's with Victor, and that's really really important when you have access to those type of resources and the conversations that we're going to be talking about. It is 9 to 5, so we will send over a more detailed calendar when you actually RSVP, so you can actually get the specific calendar for the day. But for the most part, ladies and gentlemen, when you come to the workshops, we're talking about what's on the screen here: asset protection, separating your business wealth from your family wealth. We're talking about whether as Cornell talking about, once you're inside of that system or inside of the systems, how to operate in one particular sense. Because a lot of people make the trading sound like it's easy. A lot of people say, "Oh, I want to do it," and we know that we've helped people quit their jobs and all type of stuff. That's why we still talk about it. People want to sit here and ask, "Well, how's it going?" It's going well. We met Cornell, say he's making a couple $1,000s a day plus. Still to this day, Cornell's making a couple $1,000s plus a day. If you can't live off a couple $1,000s a day, you might be living a little bit high on the hog. And whether you got multiple properties around the world, well, if you got multiple properties around the world, you traveling, yeah, you need to be making more than $2,000 a day. Do you see how that works? You don't need $2,000 a day unless you're really spending that type of money. Well, if you got multiple properties, you might need $2,000 a day now. It's just being honest, or if you're traveling quite a bit, you need $2,000. So when we met him first day, literally, that was like the main shocker, man. I'll never forget that day, man. It's so funny that we met off of just that tagline. Like, should have probably put that there as your quote. Yeah, you can make $2,000 off of trading a day if you want. Yeah, but you gotta have no fear. You gotta have, like you say, a level of emotional detachment. From what we see with so many people that engage in that, they always talk about it emotionally. And then even when he talks about it, even today, about doing it until you get it, studying, telling you it's repetition. And it why most people don't get it. And it's just like, yeah, you don't get it. But we definitely have seen the difference when we are on it and when we're not. And it's all about, like you say, the repetition. It's all about doing it consistently. That's trusteeship. That's a lot of things in life. In order for you to be successful at something, you have to, put in those work hours, almost at doing it wrong. So when you come out in the public, so when you come out and you have to do it right, you do. Well, in this particular case, what we're talking about, the trading, where you literally are having to make money for your family, like you say, for generations, and some of you could teach your kids and all type of stuff. But how many people take that seriously? you know. And it's interesting because Cornell definitely doesn't have any like super mathematical financial background. Definitely got like, we ain't trying to put him out there, like say a little bit of college. So it's no like, oh, what you mean? You didn't go to school for trading? No, cause man, it's almost annoying to talk about trading sometimes, man, cause so many people don't understand that traders are not in the public. It's rare that you see a trader in the public. Usually you see the analyst, you see the economist, you see all these different people, but you don't see the actual person that's literally doing the financial research and putting in trades for a company. And so, for Cornell to be able to do whatever he's doing, whether that's day trading, whether that's swing, whether that's intraday, but long short portfolio management, like we talk about, Cornell's already been paid six figures for a weekend to teach a hedge fund before we got the hedge fund information. So, once again, this isn't, oh, we need to hype it up. This isn't a hype. This is the facts. Once again, Cornell has been paid. over six figures. Now, we're not going to put it on him. We're not going to incriminate nobody. But Cornell has dealt with individuals that have made sure that they've compensated with six figures minimum for 2 days. Did they fly out on the PJ? You there? Uh-oh. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. He probably muted out. Okay. So once again, Cornell Def. So it's not, oh, what can we learn from this individual? It's up to you. You know, it's interesting to see like who is the lineup. Well, if the lineup are financially independent people, if your plan is to be, your goal is to be financially independent, then you're gonna do what financially independent people do. Maybe not the exact thing, but one of the things we've been thinking about recently a lot at the vault, because we do trustee training at the vault, so and we were really just thinking about recently, what are the successful people's habits in trusteeship? What are the successful habits of people in asset management? What are the successful habits of people in professional trading? What are the habits of these people? And when we see the habits of these people, we already know the situation. We already know the situation. And most people are just not educated. So we're not here to just say, oh, it's going to be education. We've always focused on putting together a private community. We do have that. You'll see those people in the room, obviously. And we've had our strict rules in the past. This is the first time we've ever went open and in public, so this is definitely going to be a different feel. It's not going to be as strict as we've been in the past. Just that's the way we're going to put it. Is we're going to say that this is an open situation for people to come out and get in contact with Trust Christian, Evolved, and Cornell, and Victor, and really get access to some people that can literally enable you and put private sector. We're talking about trading out of the trust account at the workshop. We're talking about private family banking setup. We're talking about charitable investments. When you're able to be in a charity and know that how long is charity going to be around? Forever. Well, when you're making investments with charity, you know how long your family estate's going to get fed because the investment's going to be around forever. So we look forward to this workshop really having a major breakdown of some really key elements and what we talk about asset protection, because you do need to separate your family wealth, your business wealth, from your family wealth. Well, when you separate that, you know, so we'll do a bunch of episodes. This one is just kind of more like getting the excitement out about it. We finally got it on the calendar, August 6th, this Saturday. It's 9 to 5. You know, definitely hit the like button for the episode. Definitely want to get the likes up on the episode so we can get the algorithm jumping, so we can get people working and listening to the vault and making sure that people are at the workshop. We have definitely a strong base. It's we've so there still was the room was still spaced out even with the times that we were in. So we definitely look forward to this one where it's going to be what it's always been. So we'll definitely look forward to amount of time that you have. You don't even just get up there and talk about trading. You get up there, you don't just talk about it. You show people on the screen. You pull out the websites. You pull out the companies that you're engaging with. I mean, these are are we going to separate our assets? Are we going to be able to be financially independent? Can we be financially independent through, any type of program? Are we going to have to be dependent on your marketing system? Are we going to have to do network marketing? Are we going to have to recruit people? No. Once again, even if you didn't do trading, where we talk about the trading, because so many people actually talk about doing the trading out of trust account. They always talk about that. But when we talk about the private family banking setup, for all the people that reached out to the vault through all the times, for the past few months, for the past pretty much past 6 months, and going into the 8th month of this year, that have asked about what? That they've asked about uh, private family banking and banking through, with the insurance policies, we'll literally have somebody that has a license that's going to be there. That's how that goes. When you treat your dollars like your pennies early on in life, one day your dollars will be like your pennies to you. It's not a hard thing to grasp. You have to know how money works. Well, if you went to public school and you didn't get a public school education on finance, which most people didn't, if you can't admit this, we already know who's gonna make it and who's not. If you think a public school education is sufficient to teach you how to be a multimillionaire, if that was the case, everybody that graduates from public high school will be a multimillionaire. It's just statistically supposed to happen because it's supposed to give you the tools so you can go out and do. But it doesn't. And so when you admit this truth, you can come to the realization, oh wow, public school may not be my key. That's fine. Maybe public school may not be the key. You know what? Maybe I just need to expand my network in life. Maybe I need to start traveling and I need to start expanding my network with people in different jurisdictions and people that are doing the reaching out just like I wanted someone to reach out because I have an interest in the trading. We done with hearing the boohoo and the crying about the trading. Oh man, the trading, that's a hard thing to do, man. I don't know if I can keep my emotions in check. Okay, I don't know if I got enough money. How much money you need to start out the trading? How much money you need to start out the private family banking system? How you gonna know if you don't go find out? So you gotta go find out. You gotta find out how that situation specifically applies to yourself actually. You gotta get in a room with people that know that. We're creating a legacy for future generations. Was thinking about that word the other day, Cornell, legacy, man. You start wondering like, what's your life about? Like what monopoly piece do you have? You know what I mean, Cornell? Like you start thinking about that at one point. Like start thinking like, dang, man, do I have like an edifice? Do I have a building that's named after me? Do I have a building that I helped build? Do I have a highway built after me? Do I have a library built after me? You know, do I have a college built after me? Do I have a hospital built after me, Cornell? Do I have, something like that? Do I have a street named after me? How you gonna want to leave something, Cornell, when you going on vacation to Mexico for the past few years? How you gonna leave a legacy? What's your legacy? Working a job? Pension? That's your legacy? That's where we at in the world. Your legacy is working a job. Your legacy is having kids that are supposedly they're gonna outperform you in real life because you worked a job. They gonna go build a business, but you worked the job. You gonna tell your kids, hey kid, the only way you're gonna be successful in life and make the money you want to make in life is by owning your own business or being an investor. But sure, kids don't do what you say. They do what you do. Probably gonna have a job like you. That's what happens. You depending on somebody else, so they gonna depend on somebody else. That's the legacy you left, right? See, you do leave a legacy directly or indirectly. When Trust Christian's grandmother said, guess what, I'm not leaving you nothing, that's grandma's legacy, right? It's a legacy. What are you leaving to somebody? Are you just leaving assets? Are you leaving education? When you hear wealthy people say, oh, I'm not leaving my kids any money. Cornell, you gonna leave your kids some money? If they need to take a loan out for their life, that's fine. Other than that, they're in family property. Managing assets as a trustee. You don't need to pass them anything. You see how that sounds? Because they're a trustee. But how many people say, oh, my kids are the beneficiary of the trust? My kids are the beneficiary. We ask them, they come on the line all the time. Who's the beneficiary? Oh, my kids are the beneficiary. They don't want to tell us that it's them, themselves, as the beneficiary too. I ain't gonna tell them that, but I'm a sound smart Cornell and trust Christian in the vault. I'm gonna tell them my kids is the beneficiary. Well, yeah, now you putting your kids in a position that they gonna be liable. Don't they hold the beneficiary certificates? The beneficial ownership? Have you heard of that term? That's what we're talking about at the workshop. So it's gonna be a great one. We're gonna be going over those things at the workshop. Look forward to seeing people there. Trust Christian, know not to control everything. Cornell T already done told y'all, trading is something you really have to want to do in order to create generational wealth. That also means you got to want to do something different for your family if you want to create generational wealth. Cornell ain't just doing trading. He didn't get stuck. He said he did multiple things. He said he's doing multiple things. To even hear what he's done in the past 24 hours, man, just I thought about it a little bit ago as we were speaking. I was like, man, he literally just pulled that off like it was nothing. Like, oh, I'm going over to Jersey. I'm going to go do this real quick. It's like, dang, for real? Like, it's that easy? And I understand, like, I don't know how much planning you put into it, but to know that you were like, hey, I'm up there, and then the spur of the moment decision because you do have the flexibility, because you're not living above your means, you're not working a job for the man. You were able to literally say, you know what, I'm not gonna wait, and then you literally said your flight got canceled. That's why you actually did what you did, because the flight got canceled back. So even in the moment of having to pivot, maybe once, maybe twice, you was pivoting multiple times, and that shows behavioral flexibility. And that's what we teach in the trustee training. We teach you a systematic approach to managing assets, and one of them is your time, one of them is yourself, one of them is your attitude. Being able to manage your attitude, so when you're traveling and a flight gets canceled, and then they push it back another hour, and then they just cancel it, and you're like, dang, they didn't even reschedule a flight, they just canceled it. How do you control the fire at the airport, ladies and gentlemen? You don't. So you have to have behavioral flexibility. That's what the workshop gives people. That's what being around people such as a Cornell and a Victor, they give you that behavioral flexibility. Why? Because success breeds success. You become like the people you associate with. Cornell learned that from someone else, behavioral flexibility, and that's why he was able to display that not only in his situation in the past 24 hours that we're talking about, but as well in investment strategy or business strategy, going from working a job 120 hours a week. Cornell, how do you work a job over 80 to 100 hours a week and still learn to trade? It's almost impossible. We saw something on the internet today that literally said workplaces are trying to work 4 days a week. 4 days a week, and seeing if they're more productive. Well, clearly Cornell is more productive by doing something that requires a skill. So if you're going to go to 4 days a week, or are you just trying to go to 4 days a week to avoid burnout? You're not burnout, you're trying to avoid burnout because you're not doing something you love, which is called working a job. But when you're doing, now let's talk about that here, that because this is a conundrum. Cornell, look, man, am I supposed to love the trading? Am I supposed to love the trade? Do you love the trading? Did you love the trading when you first started? Was you in love with it right away? How did you fall in love with it right away? Because the trading stuff, it takes a lot of dedication. I'm not making money right away. I got to build up the account. It's not as easy. I mean, I started out with $500. Let's just say somebody starts out with a $500. That's not a lot, but they start out 500. Say somebody starts out with 500 or 5,000. Cornell, I'm not putting a lot. 5,000 still not a lot of dollars, but I put 500 or $5,000 in there. Cornell, did you love it when you put that money in there? How did you think about the feelings towards it? What feelings did you have towards it? And when did you grow your feelings towards it? You got muted out. You there?
I would, nah, you chopping up a little bit. I'm
Okay.
making sure you done. You chopping up.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Am I muted up?
Nah, you
I
fine.
always love trade. Like, who wouldn't love trade? My mentor said, hey, you learn this, you never have to worry about money again. He was right. I control what I make. I really ain't got to talk to nobody to get it out. I make my own schedule. If you're in the group, you'll find out that we ain't taking no more than about a good, maybe an hour or so to trade. Sometimes it's quick, 5, 10 minutes. I done sat on the phone with people they done seen thousand no more. It's ways to access 6 figures. Most people try like that in demo anyway. But now you got the opportunity to take advantage of all the little tools out here. We'll talk about that in the room, but it's no excuse for nobody not to be on their job and want to learn trade. Cornell, you telling me if I pass this test, like if people send me posts of phase one, I ain't did phase two yet, but they gonna give me access to 250,000, Chris. $250,000 to go make some money with that I ain't gotta use myself. So a lot of different stuff we doing because we always evolve. We always looking for some systems don't never change. But at the same time, we don't settle. We keep digging information. That's what you get when you right people. Y'all keep growing and growing and elevating. So now that when we talking about real estate, you see, I'm gonna touch about a lot of things with it. We talking about real estate, we ain't talking about buying real estate the regular way. We talking about funds, whole private trust system. Now we're talking about whole private insurance. I said insurance private, a lot of insurance agents don't sell it.
Yeah, I was going
But
to say
guess
that
what,
about
Christian? It
Victor.
ain't the quick hit. They don't get a quick commission up front. But it's one of the yeah, but it's one of the most powerful systems you're gonna ever come across.
Hmm.
If it's done the proper way,
Hmm.
years later down the road, you collecting interest for the rest of your life.
Hmm.
Who's not gonna take the time to put the systems in place?
And you know what's
And like I
crazy?
said, my favorite get the money for your family. It may sound like a bad statement, but listen to what I'm saying. I can't force Christian or anybody else to sit down and get serious for their family without them willing to want to do that. That's how trading works. You would not learn trade by coming in and saying like, "Cornell making quick money. I need to go learn that." That ain't how trading works. You got to want to do it. That's what we stress when you're in the right environment. Because you ain't gonna call me and say something crazy and you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. I'm gonna get off the phone with you until you doing what you're supposed to do. That's what men do. They gonna push you. A lot of y'all don't like to be pushed. That's why our environments is growing. Like y'all don't even understand. You just gotta be in the room to understand. If I really just got to talking, or Christian got to talking, y'all will think, oh, these boys just talking big. But this year, like I told him, I'm showing people step by step, as y'all see that want to follow me online. I'm showing you that this stuff is real. I ain't giving them no excuse, Christian, to say anything this year. Because what we evolving to is June. By the time you see us in December, I should have plugged in with them. Because now we might be up here. That means you're going to have to work a little bit. Ain't no little bit. You going to have to work real hard to catch up. We should have been already there in the environment and building the system.
Right.
Still can be done, but it's still going to be taking you willing to sit down and want to do it yourself.
Right.
How many times I'm going to have to show y'all about the business credit? How many times I got to talk about the people that same thing with these trade accounts, want proof, and you still don't get it, you still want to have a side come to it. Guess what mentors gonna do? What I told you. One that listen to what I said when I was at work. I was doing a lot of talking and not a lot of moving. What the man told me.
Stop talking to me about it until you do it.
What he told me, Chris,
Stop talking about it until you do it.
don't talk to me no more until you go do it. You go do it, I help you as much as needed. But we not gonna sit here every day and talk about the same thing and you ain't getting no action. Now you go do what you're supposed to do, you'll be surprised how people will go out their way, their extra limb, to help you get to that level, especially the ones that made it the correct way and built the correct system. Even learning that trust system, excuse me, you're gonna learn these folks make money to give money away
Right.
and still gonna put all the systems in play that need to be put in place to make the world a better place.
Essentially, I mean, they say that's what it's for. I mean, I think it's,
Essentially,
yeah.
when you really get into the system, you'll learn it.
Right.
That's stuff we talk about when we in the room. I want to get in the room. Cornell, Chris, when y'all gonna be so many persons? People ask me all the time. Here we opportunity. We in the room. I mean, we're gonna give a little deal on my trade course just for the people in the room, but I'm finna tighten up how my mentor. Like I had these conversations with my mentor, so you're gonna see. Oh, ain't no like. By before the day, ain't no side conversation, ain't no more discount. I'm holding you accountable now. Okay, I done put it out here. I don't want to spend the money to make it better. You know what? My mentor ain't giving me no side cut. The one that want to be serious, gonna go do what they supposed to do. The one that ain't, gonna sit there and watch, look. And then you're gonna be just like how Cornell was before he changed his environment, looking at all the stuff that you thought about come to light, and I'm sitting over here on the sideline. Everybody moving over here. We not recruiting people. Ain't network marketing.
Right.
Because what y'all in the room or not, Cornell and Christian still got these systems in play. Cornell and Christian still gonna make their money, whatever. But we try to help people as much as we can and give you the real talk. Some people can't take the real talk. Y'all want to hear the real talk? The reason why we're doing this, y'all see me post a lot because I'm really scared for a lot of you guys that's not investing in yourselves or paying attention to what's going on. When I'm sitting down with professional people, bankers, attorneys, government officials, and I know a lot of you, and let me start saying like this, a lot of people that ain't paid their mortgages in the last 2, 3 years because of COVID, because of forbearance, is having a good old time, and they spent the money that they did get that was provided for that. Don't realize everybody went for the government to get out the way so they can put you out your house. Now some of you got kids, but everybody having a good old time. It's groups of people doing a lot of big talking, but they ain't really doing it. We ain't doing it. And it's time to tighten up because I'm really scared. But I'm really giving you more information than I usually give people unless they're around me. I like people that move with me. I'm only gonna mention it a couple times. Christian know that, and I leave it alone.
Right.
It's back to the part. You got to want to do it. We ain't recruiting nobody.
Right. I mean, everything's
Yeah.
not for everybody, so we know that.
I often just make that statement. Everything ain't for everybody. I would love for you to buy my course. But am I sitting here hoping, oh man, that they're gonna get it? No, I want to see somebody that's gonna get it and do like what people doing in my group now. Well, I'm literally getting the phone calls and folks crying on the phone because they actually did take that step for their family and see the change that's happened. Nah, it's bigger than the trade. Dang, Cornell, it's bigger than the trade? Yes, it's bigger than the trade. Now, put your here with Chris and get this set up. I mean, put your here with Victor. Let's get this set up. Now, let's go back and get these lines. You know what? Let's go ahead and get this real estate line. You know what? Let's see. We moving. But just imagine having the trade to go along with that, where you waking up every morning making whatever you want to make, and Christian, there's 6, 7 other things going in the background. Why Cornell look happy all the time?
That's a Victor line.
Because Cornell out putting the systems to create this generational, not quick money. You know how many people I know that probably made money on crypto and then don't understand. Like when I asked, talking to my buddy today, I'm like, you pay the taxes on that yet? Oh, they coming to get you. Oh no, I ain't paid the taxes yet. You withdraw 70,000 through Robinhood. Oh yeah, you just lost half of that value. They coming back to tax you. They own the crypto heavy. Guess what, Christian? You got to report that. You didn't report it. Now, when they come back, now they want to audit you. Now they go back all the years. We ain't worried about that. We in the right systems. We follow the systems. We not breaking the law. We follow the systems.
Right.
They reward us for following the system.
Well, being informed, you gotta know the information. That's why you gotta have the workshops, so you can learn the information, so you can make a change in your life. You know what I mean? People,
Got to make the change.
everybody come to us and they'll be like, "Oh man, we want to do it, we want to do it." But it's like if you had your team already that knew how to do it, you would have did it. That's it. You don't need us unless you need us. The only reason you need us is because you don't have what we
And
have.
I go out on a limb and say this: the information you get from us, if you grasp onto it, you'll get the business that you're trying to get to because you bring something to the table that 99%, 99.5% of the people don't know when you're in this room with us.
Hmm.
Christian, know it's attorneys that contact this man to get this stuff set up.
Right.
It's professional people that contact me about the trade because what I'm showing you about the trade ain't even online. And it's simplified. We scare people with the information that we got sometimes because, oh, Christian, there's got to be more to it.
Right. That's the
Oh,
reason
Cornell, there's
why.
got to be more to it.
Yeah.
You learn in the right environments how rich people ain't. Why would a rich person want to make their money the hard way?
Right. The hard way, man. That's maybe having six or multiple streams of income sounds hard. I don't know how that sounds hard. I just, man, I don't know how to vouch for people that think like that, man. I really don't. I really don't. If y'all want to work, keep working. I just seen an article, man, real quick on the phone. It was talking about this young lady. She making like $8,000 passively, and she started, during the pandemic or something. She started, doing some online marketing, and now she's at the point where she's working like 2 hours a day or 2 hours a week or something like that, and all she does is pretty much social media posting. If y'all think y'all gonna live like that's not a residual income. How you making passive income off? Oh, she's making passive income off of the previous views, like from the TikTok and the other thing. So she getting views off of that. But it's like that's entertainment, man. Y'all, that's one business at that. Y'all don't know that? That's one business. Is she diversifying her portfolio? They say she making $8,000 a month for 24 years old. Yeah, a 24-year old that don't know what they doing, they gonna blow through $8,000 like it's nothing. They making money like a 30-year-old, or making money like somebody that's got a degree or something, or beyond. They ain't making athlete money. But when you making, $8,000 a month, for a 24-year-old, when you make $8,000 a month, you might blow through that. It's not to say that individual's gonna blow through. It's not gonna say that you're gonna blow through it. But think about it. If you older and you've had $28,000, and you know how you blew through it, or if you're younger and you're thinking, how would I think about that? Would I blow through the $8,000 a month passively? Now it's passive. How's it passive and you still working for it? This is like the Blues Clues, the dummies Blues Clues out here nowadays, where they just think that they can go on public media and say, "Oh, what's passive income?" How's it passive income if you still getting up and posting for 2 hours every day? Does that sound passive to y'all? But it sounds passive to y'all, don't it? It sounds passive to y'all. Oh man, it's passive. It's passive. Everything's passive. We gonna call everything passive nowadays. Everybody wants to call everything passive nowadays. But in all actuality, this young lady still getting up the post. We not sitting here telling y'all to be passive managers. We talking to y'all about being active managers. The three individuals that's on the flyer, Trust, Christian, Cornell, and Victor, are all active managers of assets. You have to be an active manager. Y'all act like people think, oh man, I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna retire. I'm not gonna do anything. For all the young millennials out there, oh, you think so? We'll go for the senior on there. Victor's still working. He's the most senior, and he's got the most assets. He's still working.
Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah.
that's wrong. Why is he? Why is he? I thought he was rich. I thought, yeah, but what makes you think he just wants to sit at home? And not only
What
that,
make
we
that's
already
right.
shared
And
with
that
y'all.
was what make y'all think rich people still don't work? Once you get there, you I don't think people just get it. Like you, it's still stuff that got to be done. Like
They have the charitable investments
they got they got the charitable side, what they doing, but at the same time, what is the trustee job?
to grow the assets and protect them.
To grow the assets. We've been a generational wealth. The work don't stop.
Right. And
I
it's
don't think
interesting.
people I don't think people really get that.
And like you say, trading is something you really have to want to do in order to create the generational wealth. Everybody want to go on the internet and talk about generational wealth. But what are you doing to learn a skill such as trading that can do that? Whether y'all know it or not, people can sell their portfolio. We sat in front of this young lady the other day, and we are sharing, talking some ideas, and And we let her know about selling a portfolio, and she never knew you could sell a portfolio. But she wants to tell you that she could day trade. But she doesn't know that you could build a portfolio, build an account, like literally build money in an account and sell the portfolio of money to a fund. It's like, well, why would a fund buy the money from you? Well, there's many reasons why they're going to buy the fund. Clearly, they're buying money. When you do an investment, don't you buy money? Yes, it's interest, it's taxes, it's depreciation, it's amortization. Isn't that in real estate? When you purchase a piece of real estate, it could go up tomorrow. That doesn't mean you cash out, but you do get a profit. The rate of growth. How you gonna get a growth rate if you're not growing the assets as an active manager? So we're talking about it at the workshop. Cornell's definitely gonna be talking about it at the workshop for sure because it's interesting to see so many people talk about generational wealth, but they not. You gotta build assets. You gotta take hold of assets, and you have to continue your education clearly, and that's what we're talking about here. It's a continuing education workshop. It's always gonna be that. Victor's definitely gonna get up there as he always does and talk about the financial
And it's
plan.
getting big in business. Like,
Mm-hmm.
not to brag, but we having that type of year. Like, it's it's bigger than what y'all even can imagine. Just getting in the room and hearing what's going on. Like, even the last conference, people left that room and got to it. Now
Right.
people got access to six figures. People got this stuff getting set up. People moving on. That's what the environment. That's what we trying to do. Guess what? We building a community.
Correct.
It's still a charitable side too. There's still work that got to be done.
Right. Cornell,
You
talk
find
about
out
the.
that Cornell does a lot of charitable stuff on top of what he's doing now. And guess what? I don't need no accolades. I have to even tell you about it.
T- t-
Now, guess what? When you get these systems in place, rich people don't sit around. They do things like that you never hear about. You never hear about them over here supplying this or doing that for the kids. Cause they pretty much at a level in life, they have that peace of mind. They know everything around them. Just sitting in that room with Victor and just seeing how relaxed Victor be.
he was a little relaxed after lunch or before lunch last time. I think it was after lunch last time. He was a little comfortable. I don't, I think
After
I don't know
lunch.
if it was before or
But
after. It
but
was. It
but
was.
but you know what? You're in the room with people that's dealing with seven, eight, nine figures.
Right.
For what the price is, somebody else will be like, hey, we charging a couple $1,000 getting in this room.
I was
You
gonna say
literally
that.
got access.
Hmm.
You literally got access to somebody. Like you'll see when Victor get to talking, the man, yeah, we okay, but he at that point in his life, like you look at him and be like, I'm trying to be like him.
Right.
And then he still would take his time and come out and speak to y'all.
Facts. Yeah.
Even the people I know. And this is the thing about changing your environment. You meet different people. I'm cool with a billionaire. Guess what? I change my environment. I go different places. Some of y'all settle for the same thing every single day and then want to know why you don't. I got confidence in myself. I can hold a conversation with anybody because I done sat in these rooms. I got the knowledge. I got knowledge that some rich people don't even have.
Right.
So I got the confidence when I speak, it ain't, this is, I'm going to give you your value for being in this room. The information you're going to get in this room, no matter what kind of business you got, will make people bring business to you. I put any money up that anybody got The information that you're gonna hear in this room, if you learn it, you stay in the environment, get the systems, you will get the attention of everybody around. And Christian, no, I'd have been on the phone with some ball players, celebrities, and everything else, even the real estate guy. Well, these people pull me to the side because they don't have that knowledge base. So
Right.
guess what Cornell gonna stay at? In the environment. And we add on to our environment. We go get that information that the normal person wouldn't think about. Because guess what? We're trying to be secure as possible. Christian and Cornell willing to go drop the money on education. We dropped 5 figures on some hedge fund education.
That's a
That's the
fact.
education, Christian. That ain't the money involved. Oh, that's kind of crazy. How's it crazy when they teaching you how to manage a portfolio with millions of dollars?
Billions, trillions, whatever you want
How
to
to grow a
manage.
fund. Like I said, how to grow a fund the way later on, if we wanted to, we could sell it because we got $50 million worth of assets in it.
Yeah. It's
That's
yeah.
what we doing over here in the environment. We invest in ourselves. So don't think that, oh, it's just, oh, we're trying to get some money out of it. We invest ourselves. I invested money in the trade. I know how to trade and I still invest. That is how you're supposed to move as an entrepreneur. This is what you learn in the right environment. I can't preach it too much. I'm not gonna preach it too much. It's like how my mentor say, the ones that's gonna get it and change they. But I can put it like this: if I show you my phone, it's people that's taking the steps, and it ain't. What I like about what we do in our environment, it don't just change you; it changes your whole family aspect. You
That's a
break that
fact.
you break that generational curse when you put some of the stuff when you ain't no put some of the when you put this stuff in play in the right position and let it mature and not be greedy and rush, then you'll figure out why Cornell be so relaxed, why Cornell enjoys kids, why Cornell don't miss out on nothing with his kids, why he still people were surprised when I posted about the franchise. I had the franchise 9 years. Guess what? My system in play, Chris. All I gotta do is pay people on payday. Somebody to run it for me. That's what you learn to do in these. Guess what? We ain't trying to run. Yeah, Cornell Christian got 7, 8 things going on, but we ain't sitting there having to run 7 or 8 things.
Hey Cornell, look. They said, look. Oh Cornell, what I'm gonna do for a company? I don't know what I'm gonna do with the money I got from the loans and the credit lines. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Now we not saying they should go do the franchise for the cleaning company, but clearly, even out of
Guess
the
what?
times that we just
I
left,
would say if you ain't got nothing left, like you said, I'm just gonna give y'all a tidbit there. But you know what? I should have asked her to come, and I might get her to come down. We might add her on the board, let her come talk.
okay.
She probably would come. She in Florida. I just thought about it. My business credit girl. But if she help you get some business credit, and you got 0% for a whole entire year, me, I'm not sitting there worried about what might happen. I'm going to do
You want to talk about Jen?
it. Yeah. If I feel comfortable taking that investment in that franchise, 'cause I know I can grow it in a year, before I had to start paying interest on that money or pay it back, Cornell gonna seize the opportunity. And guess what? When I get in there, I'm not gonna play around. But you get yourself an option. You got access to something. Guess what? When this recession hit for real, y'all think the bank gonna get some money out?
Hmm.
No. Only reason they giving money right now is because the government backing.
It's just almost like people are like, I don't know, man. I've been out the house, I've talked to people, and honestly, people for probably about a few months now, easily they're like, oh man, it's gonna be a recession. It's like, all right, well that's two GDP quarters. So you cool with that? Like that's got to be predictable. It's quite a few things that have gone on. Um, so what are you doing? What are you doing about it? Like we understand that things are gonna happen in the marketplace, but like, do you if you know that like if you kind of have an idea that real estate is not gonna do well, why would you be talking about buying or investing or doing anything in it? Like, I'm not saying don't look at it. I'm not saying don't be prepared for it. And I'm talking about to the people that say, oh man, I want to do this, I want to do that. But are you prepared? Like, you got to be prepared for the moment.
Right, you gotta be prepared. It's just like this is what you learn in our, even from a trade perspective. Everybody that bought stocks with me when COVID hit is still up because long-term investment, being in the right environment, you learn certain things. We don't follow trend. We use common sense. A lot of this stuff, which I'm gonna touch about this in the room, it's common sense.
Right.
Being the smartest person in the room is not always right because now you're overthinking. You can't overthink the trade. Common sense, mindset. You can't overthink with trust. Common sense, mindset.
All right.
Business, same way. A lot of y'all trying too hard. Then you sit around and to the wrong people.
Man, ain't no way I'm gonna give them credit. They say they're doing it too hard. They're not doing it too hard. Now, I almost didn't want to say people are lazy and they don't do the work, but that's ultimately what it is. Because you think about it, if you know better, you're gonna do better. If you study a lot, you eventually gonna get something better. If you're studying the right information. But how are people gonna get better if you're not even studying the information to know what to do? So if you do take a few baby steps, you get somewhere. You don't have to take these giant steps to get anywhere. But you got to take baby steps. You got to start putting some skin in the game. You got to start getting out there. You got to invest in yourself. All these things that we're talking about here. This is just being honest, man. It's just really interesting to see when you say people are doing too much. What are they doing, man? Like, they're going on vacations to Mexico? Let's be honest. They're going on
No, we ain't talking
vacations.
about doing too much that way.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're going on vacations to Mexico. That's what they're doing. I mean, whoever's out here that's claiming that they don't have this capital to invest in a ticket to the workshop or get around people that they want to be around or just so many different things about investing in themselves. We know the audience that we're talking to. We've already sold our rooms. This isn't for everybody. This isn't a million people conference. This isn't a million man march, all right? It's for the audience that we have because it's been based off requests. We're just opening it up because we used to do the workshops for trustees only. This is open to the public so we can have just a conference where people can get more general information about what we're talking about and then go into some of the things about that each of us is living out because this is about a lifestyle too. It's not we talking about legacy for future generations. It's generations. So you got to put together a system. You got to put together a habit pattern that your kids can follow in. What you gonna give them a habit pattern of working for people, or you gonna give them a habit pattern for thinking for themselves and creating out of thin air and not crying and complaining about it, talking about this is a hard task. I don't know which business to go into. I don't know what to do with the money, Cornell. Oh man, Cornell, look man, I know you help me. You might have this person at the workshop and they gonna be able to help me get some money. They gonna be able to help me get 30, 50, 60, $100,000 in 3 to 5 months, 3 to 6 months, maybe 9 months. Okay, so in a year, you literally effectively have gotten more money. This is one thing I definitely wanted to bring up when you were talking a little bit ago. It's literally how you put money in the insurance policies. We're not. This isn't financial advice or legal advice, but dealing with Victor, how you put the money in there, and when you were talking about living off it, you can live off it tax free. You live off it. When you was talking about getting a dividend from it, I'm like, well, if you get the dividend from it, don't you live? You're living off of it is a different type of living off. When you're living off your 401k as opposed to this. What we're talking about with what the financial advisor Victor is going to be talking about and helping individuals be able to execute. But definitely see if you can get Jen to come through for sure. That would be a huge thing. That's how you know we could rival our recent competition in the marketplace when they talk about they helping people get $30 million. Well, cool. We'll rival it. We'll help people get money too as well. From OPM
Yeah,
because
I'm,
everybody,
I'm, I'm
yeah,
gonna send her a message, but 'cause I forgot she in Florida.
yeah, that'd be great if you
She'll
can get
pull
her to
up.
do that. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna put a picture on there. We gotta do some
That'd be
ESG.
huge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
put a
huge.
picture,
Yeah,
get in the room,
yeah, yeah,
and like it's a relationship. Like that, people understand. This is a nationwide company. Like y'all hear me talk about it like it's just some easy. No, they do things for me that they don't even do for other people, and they come.
yeah. But she's more likely to come for you based off of the previous history and knowing what we're going to do at the workshop. So I think it's going to be a beautiful thing to have
Oh
that
yeah, she
individual there.
followed me on Facebook. She sent me a message like, "This is how I touch people. I'm doing business with them, but she's trying to send me clients for the trade court. She talking about taking it. Like people see it. Like she'll say it. It's amazing what y'all doing. Like I ain't never heard of this. I'm getting the funding, but I didn't learn the trade. Just like my real estate guy, top guy in Chicago. He reaches out to me. He just busy right now, but this is what you think he's trying to do. He's trying to get his hand on the information that I got. Same way I'm trying to get it. So it kind of, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Get in the environment and learning the information. Guess what? That wasn't nothing free for us. So don't think it just like I said it's gonna be free. But ain't nothing wrong with investing in yourself. I invest in I tell people in my group this all the time. I'd rather lose money investing in myself than somebody else any day of the week.
Well, see, I think a lot of people didn't hear that part of it, or they weren't aware that you were okay with losing it on yourself. I think a lot of people heard. I know
I'm
a lot of
ready.
people hear you.
I am willing to lose it on myself
Right, and people aren't willing to say that to
just to
themselves.
say that, guess what? At least I did try.
Right, for yourself too. You know what I mean? On
And I
yourself.
give people the perfect example. You never know who you're gonna run across in life. Cornell should be sitting on 9 figures cash right now. People are, oh, you just talk. Ooh, ooh. This is what getting sitting on the sideline does. I hear so many people talk about there's one island, Chris,
The Maldives.
the Maldives.
Yeah.
Cornell could have easily put $150,000 into the investment before. That is a developed investment. They built that shit, Chris. Oh, I didn't mean to cuss,
you
but
fine. You they built it.
they they built it.
They built it. They did.
I know the people that put that together.
Right.
I had the pitch deck and everything. I wish I could get into my old computer. People, are you just talking something? No, I don't just be talking. But the point I'm trying to make is, it's multiple things that I seen that blossom that I wanted to do, but I sat on the sideline and saw how successful they became later on. And all Cornell had to do was get in the game,
Right. Get in the game. It
get
takes
in
risks.
position,
It makes you uncomfortable, but
and
it's like
take
you
risks.
remember you're taking a risk. You're gonna feel a little uncomfortable. How you gonna be comfortable? You could be comfortable uncomfortable, but you have to get used to that. Just like you comfortable being comfortable, you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's what, whether it's making tough decisions or not. Like what happened to you in your life where you got tired of making tough decisions? You think you above making tough decisions or something because you older? That's not how life works. It's not because you're older why you need you it's going to be easier for you to make what's called tough decisions. You're going to make these tough decisions to say I got to take time away from this, take time away from that and direct it towards this new skill, direct it towards this new relationship. That's what I'm going to do with my situation. You got to make those tough decisions. Whether that's what he's talking about when he say sit on the sidelines. We know we have an eclectic listening base. Some people they actually already are on the path. There are many people that are not on the path, but we know quite a few people that are on the path. The audience is huge that are on the path, but we know there's a lot of people that want to get on the path. And if you want to get on the path, this is an opportunity. We're giving y'all 60 days to prepare for the event. July 6th, all the way, was it June 6th, all the way up to August 6th. We're not gonna do tickets the day of, but we'll definitely do tickets the night before. We'll cut off tickets literally at 12 p.m. the night before. We're not doing any of that show up the same day type stuff. And if it is like that, we'll figure that out. But we don't prefer doing cash right there, no transactions right there at the event. We like things really running smooth. You know, even putting the price up on here has been a doozy. So, we have it up there for y'all, 350 per person, 440 for the VIP dinner with Cornell, Victor, and Trust Christian. And as well, we definitely looking forward to bringing another individual that can help out with people getting some OPM. Everybody always want hoop and holler about OPM. So and it's ESG. It's a young lady, very versed, like say, national company. You all will be very familiar with. As soon as you all say their name inside of the algorithm on the internet, you're pretty much gonna have the company come up in your
Yep.
advertising. So they're a big company that we have good relationship with. So we'll look forward to connecting.
Strong relationship.
Right.
Yep. It's a
So,
direct contact from Cornell.
right.
You mention my name, direct contact. You're gonna get it done. And she sent me something today. I gotta go look to see. There's a ton of people outside of my group. Like you got people that act like I said, we do got some people on course to get this done. Like I just got on a couple of my friends today, like, oh man, somehow with the car. Why you ain't got the business credit yet? Like I've really been on my friends tough lately. And this is why you gotta get in the environment so you can help the people around you or get them from around you. Because everybody ain't gonna go on your journey with you, and you got to move with people that's trying to move like you in order to get this stuff done. So it's tough criticism. Or that can come off as a little bit harsh sometimes. That's okay. My mentor, he come off a little bit harsh. I don't get mad about it. How am I gonna get mad if a billionaire telling me something?
Well, he a
How many
billionaire. How you gonna let somebody
how
talk to
many
you like that?
how many people can even tell you they talk to a billionaire?
Hey,
So why am I gonna sit here and take offense to it because he ain't telling me nothing wrong.
right.
He telling me something right. But depending on the manner on how I'm doing it, yeah, he might chew my butt out. I want him to chew me out to get me in line the same way. I want you to feel, oh, Cornell just fussing. No, Cornell trying to get you in line to what you're trying to do and keep you focused. So like when I talk to my friends today, why you don't got this? You say you got a 780 score, 800. Why are we sitting here discussing money when it's access to money out here and y'all don't realize how bad it's going to get out here and you're not making the steps to do it?
Maybe it was because when the financial crisis came around, it didn't really hit that many people. It hit people, but it didn't hit everybody.
It
And
ain't hit them because they don't realize the government give you all this money to make put the money right back in the economy. Then, if y'all really read the terms on the money you got, they charge you interest like a mortgage, and so y'all can be paying the government 30 years. Now you got to report the money. You already own people for not reporting the money on their taxes. Ain't no way around it. You in the system.
right, because you took government money, you took the funds
You
from it.
took government
You filled
money.
out the applications and lied on it. Told them you had a whole bunch of employees that you didn't have. Oh, yeah. Cornell, we definitely appreciate you, man. We definitely going to do a do some more episodes. Coming up here, we'll do one specifically about maybe the trading course and just kind of talking about that and going forward from there. Definitely look forward to seeing you at the workshop and connecting with so many people. It's going to be so many people that really want to connect with you and just kind of have that VIP dinner. That's going to be a real intimate thing. We know that's going to get a lot of people want to do that. So we look forward to the VIP dinner. Always got people that want to do VIP dinners. It's not much more, but it is to cover the plate of food and, for us to be able to sit in there and be able to have the conversations that we need to have. We are looking to extend ourselves for sure when it comes to just not the VIP dinner, but having a fireside chat with Cornell and Victor and moving forward from there. So appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listening to replays to the vault. This is the Vault, episode 400, August 6th seminar. and the seminar in Orlando 2022. We got Cornell. We already know what he's done. I mean, we got some pictures. I'm sure you guys will see the pictures of him online when you are able to connect with him online. Cornell James, definitely be able to connect with him on social platforms. What is it? Cornell the Trader on IG, something like that.
Uh,
Something like that.
CJ
Say, oh,
the
CJ the
tra-
Trader. CJ the
CJ
Trader.
the Trader,
CJ the.
CJ DA Trader.
Yeah. So feel free to reach out to him,
I
Victor.
probably posted on there. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we'll get you all the details once you RSVP, and then we'll make sure you all get whatever, details, whether it's a VIP ticket or a per person ticket or a couple ticket. We know there's quite a few families that are going to be sitting in the room. So we're definitely looking forward to Water Wall. Look forward to it. Look forward to hearing from you all. Peace. Christian at trustchristian.com. Peace.